Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this Monday morning. Have a great week lined up for Panhandle Outdoors. So we'll get started with the day's weather, brought to us by Haney Technical Center. Have all kind of programs over there. Run by a check with Principal Mike Heppenstall. One of the great programs they have is a nursing program. They really do a good job. They have a computer repair class. There's all kind of programs at Haney Technical Center, and a good sponsor of Panhandle Outdoors. A weather day, we're going to be a high of 87 and a low of 74, and the water temperature is hanging in there around 84 degrees. We've got about a 30% chance of rain today, but you know when they do, we talked about this last week, when those storms come up, they can be fast, they can be vicious. They come in there with lightning popping all over the place, so be careful. I had a bad dream the other night, and lightning hit all around us while we were at school, so be careful with lightning and this afternoon thunderstorm, especially in late summer like this. A lot of humidity in the air, and you do need to be careful. Now, let's take a look at our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home, and their motto is, "When caring counts." I know a lot of folks over there, good quality people, and they can take care of you. There's a big old crew over there that does their work, and nice people. Today is August the 26th, folks. We're in the last week of August, and we're looking at a tide is starting to come back now. This past weekend, we just didn't have any tidal flow, but we're just starting to pick it up and looking for the whole week. We're going to get some good tides in by the end of the week, and it'll be some really good fishing toward the end of the week. But it's going to pick up good today. We have about a 1.2 foot range today, and the low tide, the high tide this morning at 3:11, and the low tide is going to be right after lunch about 12:06, and then the afternoon tide is going to start coming in slowly, but then tonight, and then of course tomorrow is going to pick up a lot too. Okay. That takes care of our weather. Now on the moon phase or Monday moon forecast, we have a new moon that's starting to wax. So we're going to be moving up this week and getting a little bit brighter. But our new moon was this past weekend. All right, let's take our break, and we'll be right back with our guest. Okay, welcome back, folks. Glad you're with us this morning. We have my special guest as always, Miss Whitney Woodrick. Good morning, baby.
Good morning.
And Walter.
Good morning.
My son-in-law, and my granddaughter, they're they were on the show not too long ago, and they're getting ready for this big trip out in Colorado, and y'all have been excited about it.
Yes,
and y'all been doing a lot of things. We're going to let the viewing audience sort of go along with them as they prepare for it and get ready, and it's a job, isn't it, Walter?
It is. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of preparation as far as for the trip, for our bodies, for the equipment, for the clothing. It's a lot.
So this morning we have a special situation where we've been able to call his outfitter out there in Colorado. We have him on the phone right now, and Walter's just going to talk to him a minute. And it's a good setup, and we're going to Walter, go ahead and introduce him and tell us about him. What's going on?
Great. The outfitter is Colorado Mountain Adventures, and the outfitter's name is Dan Harrison. Dan, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I am doing fine. What's the temperature right now in Colorado?
About 47, high 40s.
All right.
We
high
need that.
40s.
Tell them to send it down here.
Yeah, we need that cool weather down here, but we've got some coming this week. That's good, but it won't be that extreme. Hey, when we first started talking, I found out about your passion for the youth and the outdoors. Tell me where that comes from and what your company does for youth.
It stems back from my wife and I. We could never have kids, and the want for having the youth involved in my life led me to introducing, well over 300 kids to the outdoors and the hunting, the hunting heritage that I was raised on.
That's great. That takes an investment in the youth today to grow the future in a lot of ways, in the education as well as in life skills and in the outdoors. So I appreciate that a lot. How long have you been doing in the outfitter business?
For over 20 years.
Over 20 years. So what's the herd count look like out there right now? How are things looking healthy?
Oh, they're the herd is almost doubled in size from what it was. This is the first year that you can actually harvest too well in Colorado in our area because the elk numbers are up so high. you can get an additional cow tag now.
So that's great for people who come from out of state. It's great for your business, and it's great for wildlife management out there. Would you say that most of your clients out there come and bow hunt or rifle hunt, or is it a mixture of evenly of both?
Well, it's usually a both. We have a real strong bow hunting community that comes out every year. Most of my bow hunts are repeat clients. The rifle hunters, they come out, and we usually have a pretty good turnover on the rifle hunters. But we're full haul pretty much all the time.
That's great. So tell me, are we going to be hunting on public or private land? At what elevation will we be hunting at? What kind of other traffic will we see in the woods?
Now we're hunting it's called a primitive area. It's not a designated wilderness area, but our base camp sits at 8,300 feet, and we'll be hunting anywhere from 7,200 to 9,800 feet. It's all horseback access in. We hunt on foot from base camp, but it's all wall tents and, just your classic elk hunt.
That's great. Well, we're excited. We're getting geared up with our clothing and equipment and rifle. We'll start working with Whitney pretty soon on shooting her 7mm 08 to be able to be dead on with very, very accurate toward the vitals at 200 yards, put her in a variety of situations, and be able to shoot under pressure. So we're excited. We appreciate your investment in the youth and you being patient with my texts and phone calls, trying to find out everything about it. And well, we'll try and steer people to your website, which is coloradomountainadventures.net. And Dan Harrison, we appreciate your time to take this call early this morning in Colorado at 47 degrees.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate your enthusiasm, Walter, and I'm looking forward to getting you and your daughter out here.
Thank you, Dan. Have a great day.
Okay, you too. Appreciate it.
All right. Good job. He's up and ready to go this morning, isn't he?
Yes.
I imagine it's early rise for him, as he's trying to scout and find out where things are, getting his gear together. Sounds like a strong guy who's done it a long time.
Now, what are the seasons what are the seasons out there? You're going to go in November, right?
Yeah, November, the 1st of November is actually the 3rd rifle season. So they've already taken 2 other rifle hunts.
Okay.
And the seasons are a week long each.
Okay.
And they've also would have had bow seasons. So we'll be going after the rut. There'll probably be snow on the ground. That'll be good because we'll be able to see where the elk have been traveling, what size they are. They help us with tracking. But it'll be tough on us Floridians.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how are you getting ready for the snow, honey?
Well, we've been doing a lot of hiking in our boots, which you guys saw the video, and that is sometimes very painful. We hiked 2.5 miles the other day.
We did 2.5, yeah.
And we don't have the same experience that we're going to have in Colorado just because it's not rocky and there's no mountains down here in Florida. But our boots are very insulated, so it gets pretty hot.
All right, welcome back. Sit here with little Miss Whitney Woodrick and Walter, and we just got on the phone with the Colorado Outfitters on the trip they're going on. And well, that's good news about the herd doubling.
It is.
It really is. That's exciting to be able to think that we can look out over the mountains and glass from one to the other and see who knows how many, but to have them say it's doubled is great.
That is good. All right, let's get back to the local scene real quick, and we're going to show some more pictures in a second. But on the local scene now, talking about hunting, we're getting a hunter safety course that's coming here to Bay County. We just had one over in Santa Rosa County over at Navarre for the western end. We've had one over in Liberty County, and we had one in Jackson County. Y'all went to one in Jackson County,
That's
right?
Yes.
So now this time, this next week after next, the first weekend of September, is coming into Bay County, the hunter safety course. So go ahead and check on that. Another thing coming the first weekend of September, September 6th, is a Women's Outdoor Day out of St. Andrew State Park. And it's interesting, I made a list of what they're doing. It's free. They're going to teach knot tying, does that sound familiar? Cast netting, boating safety, and different things with compass. This sounds like my outdoor ed class, don't it?
It does. I was about to say, it sounds like Winston Chester Outdoor Ed.
I appreciate
women.
I appreciate FWC doing that. It's going to be at St. Andrew State Park, and they're going to limit it to the first 20 ladies to sign up. It's going to be Saturday from I think from 9 to 5. From 9 to 5 this Saturday, and you can learn all those outdoor things. And I know a lot of ladies out there want to do those things, and a lot of times they're intimidated. Whitney, I don't know if you realize how fortunate you are to have your dad take you at a young age.
I am very.
And you get exposed to it now. So I know a lot of your friends and all don't get this opportunity. So I know you're fortunate to do that. So
Yes,
let's look at some pictures. People, we want to know what you're going to be looking at out there. So let's talk about some of these pictures that they've sent us. Okay. Tell us this first picture right here.
All right, so this first picture is a bull elk, and right now he's bugling. You'll be able to tell because of his posture. He's got his neck and his head pointed straight out, and his head's kind of lean back, and that's giving his muscles room to contract, so he can make a high-pitched kind of squealing noise that he can use to challenge other bulls, to call a mate, signal to others, signal to their baby, and warn any other species of animal of danger just by making that loud pitch. All right, and this is another bull elk, and he's just standing out in the field, but one thing that I wanted to point out was his antlers. And last night I watched a video of two bull elk, and they were fighting, and I read that their 4 front antlers, they're really, really sharp. You can kind of tell they're sticking out front. And whenever they fight other bulls, they use those 4 antlers to try to hit them in the head with them.
Yeah.
So that's what they do whenever they're trying to fight.
Yeah.
So those set of antlers, just that set of antlers alone can weigh up to 40 pounds. So that was a lot of
40 pounds.
40 pounds.
Wow.
So I thought that was amazing.
And I wonder how much wind resistance those antlers will create when they're on top of the Toyota Highlander when we're coming back home.
Oh, yeah.
Going 80 miles an hour through
So
Texas.
y'all gonna bring it back home? Is that what you plan on doing? Or?
Yeah, you can have them mounted out there and they'll ship it back. So we'll just see what happens. We have that option, or we can bring it back. It just depends on probably temperature.
You're gonna set up like a base camp, right?
We are. He said that he's had a 4-walled tent. It's probably about 10 miles in, where nobody walks far enough to get into this. That's why he uses horseback riding. So we ride into the camp, 4-walled tent. He says he has a generator there, so I'll be able to charge up the camera equipment and have things there. And then we'll walk from there. But he says he's far enough in that there's not really any competition. We're not going to be bumping into other people like it's frequently done on public land.
Yeah. Okay, and the food and all, y'all just gonna come back to the camp each day and have a big supper? Or
Right. I don't know if we'll walk back for lunch. We may take a
probably
sandwich
not for
with
lunch,
us.
yeah.
But they'll provide the food there too. And what he does is he does a 2-for-1 deal with a father-daughter or a father-son to encourage the youth, and that's really why it made it affordable for us to be able to go.
Yeah.
And we'll be driving out there. We'll leave right after our last Bay Haven football game on Tuesday night and try and be, it's a 27-hour drive, and so we'll make that in over a 3-day period.
Whitney gonna help drive?
I wish I could.
I know your dad does too.
Yeah.
Well, Whitney, I got to say, for your report that you did for elk right here, and you still got some more to present to us. Remember, this is a homeschool grade.
Yes, sir.
So right now you're on a good track. You're doing good.
Yes, sir.
If you stop now, I would give you an A. So let's see what else you got.
All right.
Okay. All right. Okay. Talk about this one, Whitney.
All right, this is a diagram of another bull elk. So I'm just going to read out a couple things that it says. Let's start with the dark snout right up here. And you'll notice in this picture, he does have a dark snout. It kind of looks like a little black tip on it.
Okay.
And he's got a shaggy mane, and it's only on males though. It looks like they have a big scarf on, a big brown scarf.
Yeah.
And they have really long legs, and they're the largest. I would say they're the largest deer, type of deer in that
What's
family.
their average weight, roughly?
The bull weighs up to 700 pounds, but he loses 20% of his body weight during the rut.
During the rut.
And the calf is 35 pounds whenever it's newborn, and the female, she is 500 pounds.
500 pounds. That's a big animal right there.
It is. It's very big.
Yeah, that is.
What was interesting was the lifespan. What was the lifespan?
It was, they can live up to 26 years. It's 14 to 26 years.
Goodness gracious.
Wow.
That is in the wild. That's phenomenal. Because around here, a white-tailed deer maybe go 5 to 6 years, usually at the most.
Right.
Yeah. I guess maybe the size of it and all. And what do they eat out there?
All right, well, during the summer, they eat all the grasses that are on the ground. I mean, just any grasses they can find. The spring and fall, they also eat grasses. Now the winter, if I was an elk, I would be able to see how much harder it is to find food out there just because there's snow and everything. So they find a variety of things. There's grass, shrubs, tree bark, and twigs, just pretty much everything they can find because the grasses are mostly going to be covered up by snow and everything.
Now, I don't guess you can put a feeder up out there, can you?
It'd be tough to lug that in on horseback.
Yeah, it would. All right, let's take our final break and we'll be right back. Morning. Let's get started first on our fish and game forecast today. I'm going to just hold it up right here. This is brought to us by Mark Cowart. Okay, Mark Cowart. You got it right there. Our times, we're looking at our times at 3:34 this morning, 3:34 to 5:34. And then this afternoon, 4:06 to 6:06. That's Mark Cowart, Edgewater Beach Realty. Parks an excellent fisherman. His son Michael playing ball over at North Bay Haven this year. Okay, so maybe we'll get to go watch him play some ball.
Ball is in football?
Football, that's right.
Good.
And you're coaching at Bay Haven.
I am.
Yeah?
We started tryouts yesterday.
Okay, good deal. So we're going to get a lot of football. I have my niece's son is quarterback at Bluntstown, so we're going to be watching, and then go watch Mosley play, so we'll watch a lot of football.
Right.
Okay. We want to show you this picture. You know, now listen, we've had a lot of rain and all lately, and we really had over a yard of rain in the early part of July till now. And it affects a lot of things in nature. And one of the things around a lake, when the lake rises up, those water moccasins, a lot of times they start moving around in a new territory, and they can become a hazard. You can see this picture here, these two water moccasins. This is up on the Lake Bill Ellisworth's property up there on the western end of western side of Deer Point Lake. But now what happened, they started getting up around the carport, and Stacy had to call for some help, and she called Shep Ellisor to come take care of these snakes. And here's what happened. Old Shep came down and checked this out.
Now, can we find him in the yellow pages under Snake Exterminator?
Shep the Snake Slayer. Shepard he's a fourth grader at Lynn Haven, 9-year-old over Lynn Haven Elementary School. He loves to hunt. His mom is Kim Purdue Ellisor. And she sent this picture. I thought this was great. He came in and took care of his aunt's problem right there. And, you know, they can become a problem, those snakes can.
I wonder if he has made it through the entire elementary school telling the story of how he saved the day.
Yeah, I'm sure he has. And we've had pictures of Shepard on before, and they have a place out in Texas. He's taken some nice deer, and he's a good outdoorsman. And we want to get him on the show, or maybe go do an interview with him one day and spend some time with him, because he's a good little outdoorsman. And you know, it's one of our big things here, getting young people involved in outdoors. And we do have a good nucleus of young kids in the outdoors.
So if you need hog extermination, you call Paul Stokes at Muddy River Outfitters.
That's right.
And if you need snake extermination, you call Shepard.
That's right.
He's probably got his own iPhone and got everything. He's probably fully connected, Twitter, Facebook, everything.
Yeah, well, he took care of him. Okay, Whitney, we got a few minutes left. Let's get back to your big elk hunt now. Are you excited?
I'm so excited.
Well,
I really am.
I don't know if we talked about it. You're being homeschooled this year.
Yes, sir.
And that's wonderful, because it has so many advantages. I'm a public school teacher, and it has a lot of advantages. But at a point in time in people's lives, I think homeschooling is good, and I think this is good for you this year.
Yes, sir. I think it is.
When I called you, one of the first things I was so pleased to hear that y'all spend some time with the Bible.
Yes, sir.
So tell us about that.
Well, my schedule, I'm going to wake up at probably around 7 o'clock every day to start my school. And I start out with Bible class. I read a part of the Bible, and then I do some research on it. And that's my Bible class. It takes about 15-20 minutes throughout the day. And then I've got my regular core classes, language arts, science, math, and then I also have some PE too.
Okay. I guess you like that, Walter. You're there with her, and then
I am. You know, my office is I've got my home office, and so we're right there together. And if I need to go see somebody, I can. She takes care of her schoolwork, and she's got questions. She's literally got her own office, and we're connected, so we're right there together. You know, I had so many people tell me, adults who had grown kids, say that they wish they'd have been able to spend more time with their kids, and I thought it'd be a great opportunity to spend time with her and get a good foundation in the Bible. And I've always kind of had the aspiration, I guess in my work, I'm a teacher, so why not teach her? And it's something we may do with all kids.
All right, very good. All right, now listen, we're talking about the elks now. People don't realize that the elks are really spreading all over the place.
Are.
You tell us about where all the elks are now.
All right. So it is spread from around the Colorado and Montana region into a ton of places. Tennessee, Kentucky, Montana, Colorado, the surprising New York,
New York City?
yes,
New York.
North Carolina, Washington, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Nebraska, Kansas, Montana, Idaho, North Dakota, Virginia, and Missouri.
They're in all these states.
It really is.
I did not know they were that prevalent all over the place.
They are.
And I always think about this area down in the south. Would it be possible for them to come in a place like Florida or Alabama or Georgia? I always thought it had to be up around the mountains.
They have a variety of places. They can live in rainforests, alpine meadows, deserts, valleys, and hardwood forests. So pretty much everywhere.
So we could actually get some elk down here.
I was looking at her notes to see if it says sand dunes or could eat sea oats.
Yep.
They
I
would
could
have
do
beach
that.
elk.
And they wouldn't have to worry about the snow.
You wouldn't.
That's interesting, really. There are places large enough in Alabama and Georgia and even Florida where they could actually start some elk populations. That's interesting.
The thing that I would think would be better out west is just the vast expanse of open territory.
That's the key to it, yeah. That's the key to it.
Whereas when you get in more populated areas, you got traffic vehicles that are going.
I tell you what I find fascinating about y'all's trip, you're going to actually be on public land.
Yeah.
And there's not a high fence area, just public land, and y'all just going out there.
It is.
That's going to be cool.
It'll be the Grand Mesa Mountain, which is near Grand Junction, which is at the Utah border, basically on the western slope of the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for you. We're going to talk about it more as you go along and different things you're getting ready for. But big thing now, you got to somehow get your legs in shape for climbing. You can do that. Go to Torrio State Park and climb those hills over there. And also, you got to breathe thin air. I don't know how you're going to work on that.
Yeah. Pretty shortly.
Maybe we might have to go to a local grocery store and just walk in the cooler for a long time to get used to the
There you
temperature.
go. There you go. Well, honey, we're going to wrap it up.
All right.
Walter, thanks for getting up and bringing her this morning.
Thank you, Winston.
All right. As always, folks, Panhandle Outdoors is some of the things we really push, and one of the things are these charity events and also for kids and outdoors. And we appreciate the viewership that you have, appreciate you supporting our sponsors. It's very important that we stay on the air with the great sponsors we have. And as always, we ask you to do something good for someone else today. You have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.